So, Ryan, how would you describe this situation Stefanski's in? He doesn't know what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson's suspension and trying to figure out what this offense looks like, because at the end of the day, that is his job.
Yeah, that is his job. But when you think about it, his first job as the head coach of a football team is to be a leader of men. And the situation that the Cleveland Browns are now in when it pertains to Deshaun Watson is a very difficult one. It is one that the players on the team will have to speak on, one that Kevin Stefanski will be asked about. So he does have to handle that in a certain way, show up to work in a certain way. When he shows up to work, he has to figure out who's going to be his starting quarterback. He has no idea how long or if or when Deshaun Watson will be suspended. And there are certain things and reasons you go out and get Deshaun Watson that you want to build your offense around, but you don't know if you'll have them. So is that Jacoby Brissett, and what things have to be different in order for Jacoby to be successful? And here's my biggest point and the biggest issue that Kevin Stefanski will face. He's not just the offensive coach. He's not the offensive coordinator. He's the head coach. So when you build your team philosophy, you say we're going to play offense this way, defense this way, special teams, and here is how we'll win games. He will not be able to do that until he gets the final word on what Deshaun Watson's the suspension will be, when it will start, and when it will end. So he's having to put together essentially two different game plans for both offense and team every single day. And that's a difficult spot to be in, and I think that's why he is so stressed when asked questions about Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, guys, this is a very, very serious situation, and Kevin Stefanski has to be the ultimate leader when he's talking to this team, because when you talk about who's his quarterback going to be, it's not going to be Baker Mayfield, right? If Deshaun Watson gets suspended, it's going to be Jacoby Brissett. And now Jacoby Brissett can run any offense that you want him to run. It's just not going to have the same juice as it would if Deshaun Watson was out there throwing the ball.
Right.
But this is a situation that the Browns, they put themselves in, right? So they got to sit at the table that they made, and when you go out and you guarantee a guy $230 million and he has massive off the field issues, this is what happens. They're going to have to hide behind Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb and allow Jacoby Brissett to run the system that Stefanski wants to run, that is very successful and was successful with Baker Mayfield, but it's not going to have the same juice without Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, Robert, to your point, it wasn't that long ago that Baker Mayfield was the Browns quarterback, and now, of course, a reminder that he was excused this week for mandatory minicamp, as you might expect. So, Jeff, where do things stand with a potential Baker Mayfield trade right now?
Well, oddly, Laura, they stand exactly where they have all offseason, and that is with the Cleveland Browns still essentially demanding most of the team that the potential suitor would pick up most of the tab on his guaranteed contract for this coming season, just under $19 million. So until the Cleveland Browns come down from that number, essentially picking up part of that tab so that the potential suitor doesn't have to, this deal is not going to get done. The Carolina Panthers are still a team we should watch, but at this point, once the Browns do come down in that number, I would anticipate other teams also becoming interested.
Yeah, it's kind of a delicate line that they're walking there, trying to wait and see who might be desperate for a quarterback, desperate enough to pick up the most of that salary they could possibly get. And another thing, guys, you mentioned the running game. Well, it would make sense for Cleveland to rely on that if they're without Deshaun Watson for some period of time. Last season, they led the league with 5.1 yards per rush.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.